So as that graphic confirms, that India won the first match in this Group A encounter. Next up is women's singles, then it will be men's singles, women's doubles, and we'll finish with mixed doubles. And all 5 matches will be contested. So our court officials for this one. They come on to court first before the players are announced. Now Morten, I know you've been doing some work in India, but obviously not since the pandemic has engulfed the world. But what do you know about Malvika Bansod? Do you know anything about her?
I actually don't know a lot. I've of course looked her up, and she's won 4 international wins, 2 times a future and 2 times an international series tournaments. Is 110 on the world ranking. Do not know a lot about her, but she's one of the young players coming up behind Saina Nehwal and of course PV Sindhu that India's banking on. They have a few very good talented women's singles players underneath, but they need to give them enough exposure to really start building up a name for themselves.
Yeah. Well, she was playing last week, I can tell you, as we have it confirmed that this is the first meeting between them. The left-hander, about a week ago, was playing the Ukraine International Series, which the quarter-final. She had actually been the number 2 seed. But style-wise, you don't really know.
No, I suspect her to be a typical lefty, but let's see. I think what I've seen, I've never seen her play, but I've seen other Indian women's singles players play, and they have kind of a similar style, very nice technique, but the pace in the game for the players below Saina Nehwal and PV Sindhu is simply not high enough.
Well, we know an awful lot about this lady, Pornpawee Chochuwong, silver medalist at the World Junior Championships in Bilbao in 2016, but perhaps shot to fame in 2020 when she won Spain Masters, beating Carolina Marin in the final. Earlier this year, she reached the final of the All England Championships, where she lost out to Nozomi Okuhara in the final. As you saw, 23 years of age, born in Rainon on the east coast of the Gulf of Thailand, whereas Malvika Bansod is just 20 years of age from Nagpur in central India. Yes, the 4 tournaments that Morten was telling you about as we look at our court officials, the 4 tournaments won by the young left-hander from India. 2019 won the Maldives Future Series, the Nepal International Series, and then earlier this year won the Uganda International Series and the Lithuanian Future Series. And if you're a little confused as to why these tournaments have different names, the lowest level of tournaments on the BWF structure is the Future Series, then we go up to the International Series, then we have the International Challenger events, then we have the Super 100s, Super 300s, Super 500s and Super 1000 events, and that's the development pathway that the BWF have set up so successfully to bring players through to the elite level of badminton. So we can see that the young Indian player Bansod has started at the lowest tier, and she's gradually moving her way up, and it's going to be fascinating to watch her progress over the coming years. Should be mentioned though that she is the 6th ranked women's singles player from India, behind PV Sindhu, who's number 7, Saina Nehwal, number 19, Chahila, who's 91, Kasha, 94, and then Bansod, 110.
On the right, Thailand. India, represented by Malvika Bansod. Thailand serve, level, play.
So the experienced Chochuwong getting this second match of the tie underway, the women's singles against Malvika Bansod. Oh, that's a nice shot. Terrific net spinner from Pornpawee Chochuwong. It's amazing that I'm saying the experienced Morton, when she's 23 years of age.
Everything considering.
Yes, in comparison.
Yes.
And she's experienced now. I mean, the Thailand players, the youngsters, and of course, Ratchanok Intanon won the World Championships when she was just 18 years of age. This is a good rally.
Yeah.
And this lady, Chochuwong, has been exposed to international badminton from a young age. And in case you're wondering why Ratchanok Intanon is not here, very sad reasons, the death of her mother, and certainly all of us, especially Morton and myself, Jill, we send our deepest condolences, and just to let you know that you're very much in our thoughts at the moment.
Sarasota 2-1.
Chochuwong had not the best Olympic campaign, if I would say so. She was a slow starter. She finished really well, but it was not enough to bring her over the finishing line in terms of participation at the Olympics. She lost out to her teammate, Usanan Umbang by a fraction.
Yes.
It was like 12 and 13 on the world ranking, but it was like there was nothing between the two.
Women's singles, Yu Qian Hui from Chinese Taipei and Yenina
Oh, that's a lovely clear.
from Tahiti.
I think Malvika is doing really well. She's staying in the rallies quite nicely with all the clears and able to put some pressure back on Chochuwong. So I'm quite impressed for the time being. Even though she's down 5-1, I think it's not a true reflection of the rallies so far.
It's nicely done. And I know that Malvika Bansod is an intelligent young lady, because during the pandemic she was a first-year student in computer science at the University of Chennai. It's not the best of serves.
No.
Woefully short.
And it got what it deserved. Yes. Isn't that what you normally say?
That certainly did.
Yeah, that was really, really short.
Oh, it's a nice angle.
Yeah, I suspect that Malvika Bansod is playing slightly against the drift. I don't think there's a lot of drift on court, but she is playing a lot of her shots very slow. And when we looked at the men's doubles, the previous match, I think it was the slower end where she's standing now, but we will be a lot wiser in a week's time, in 5-6 days' time.
Absolutely.
Then we will know a lot more.
Unless it's like Tokyo Morton, where the drift changed halfway through the tournament.
So it
we
did.
we thought we got it all worked out.
Yeah, suddenly.
And then they threw us a curveball.
Yeah, totally.
Oh, that's a lovely block. I like that forehand block across court from the left-hander.
It was a fantastic win by Chochuwong. I think it was the semi-final at the All England where she beat PV Sindhu in very, very demanding scores to enter that final against Okuhara.
Yes, 17 and 9, I think.
I can't remember the score. I just know it was very commanding scores.
Yeah, very one-sided.
Yeah. I'm still smiling when you say they threw us a curveball. I so like that expression. Keep smiling.
Oh, that's lovely.
That's lovely.
You'll
Good
smile
play.
at that one too, Morton.
Yeah, well played. Oh, that's a slow one.
Too slow the drop, you mean?
Yes, yes. She got out of trouble well.
Oh, that's nice.
You know, just looking at the first 5-6 minutes here of this opening game, I would like to see Malvika Bansod play a bit more drop shots from the front of the court, a net shot from a net shot. She's always pushing it away from the net. It's like she's a little bit scared of playing the net shots.
Found the line well. And to the mid-game interval. Pornpawee Chochuwong representing Thailand with an 11-4 advantage. Just 7 minutes into the match. I'm having a little chuckle here, Morton,
Are you?
because I can remember the first time that we watched PV Sindhu, which I think was in 2014 at the side-loaded Grand Prix Gold.
Probably yes.
And you said to me, I'd like to see her play more net on net.
Yes. And
Exactly the same thing you've just said about it.
yes, and she is much better doing that now, especially on her backhand side.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. But it's a very normal thing in women's singles when the youngsters are coming up. Inverted commas, they are a little bit scared of the net,
Yeah.
and they tend to lift far too much, and they have to learn to play what I call professional, senior, elite badminton, and they have to make use of that net.
So a handsome advantage, 7-point advantage for Chochuwong in this women's singles. Don't you think the reluctance to play net on net from junior players or young players coming out of junior badminton is also because at junior level players don't have the physical strength to move back well in court, and therefore they get the advantage by lifting to the back from the net, making their opponents move backwards, whereas you get into senior badminton, all the players can move backwards very well because they've got the physical strength to do so.
Yes, and in junior badminton, of course, the pressure from the back is not as great as it is in senior badminton. So it's like a safe haven, you know, you just play it to the back and it's safe.
This is a good rally. It's probably the longest rally of the match.
That one is going along on the back line.
Which would tend to suggest you're right about the minimal drift. That was another loopy drop shot.
Yeah, it's too slow.
Yeah.
Good pace here from Chochuwong. Oh, she's unlucky on that one.
Yeah.
That would have been a winner. I think Chochuwong is showing a lot of maturity. You know, going in and playing these team events is not easy. And of course, kind of replacing Intanon in the first singles, there's a little bit of pressure on that as well. And I think you can just see that she's becoming more and more mature and more experienced, and she will grow in the next 2, 3, 4 years, I think, as a player.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good shots.
Yeah, very good. Lovely angle.
Yeah, well worked rally as well from Chochuwong. And I think it's a little bit interesting that we all know that Chochuwong is what we call an independent player. She's not part of the Badminton Association of Thailand in terms of her training setup and all that.
Yeah.
We've seen that when Malaysia have picked their team, they've picked all their players from the national setup, but it's due to the fact of the COVID situation. But in Thailand, they have chosen to bring in Chochuwong anyway. Whether she has been in the national training centre for a long time or how they've done it, I don't know. But it's just quite interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, the BWF have put COVID protocols in place here for this tournament and indeed for the Thomas and Uber Cup in a couple of weeks' time. Keep everybody safe. Oh, yes. Good pressure. Broken Strings, I think
Yes.
she played that winner.
Yeah.
Did well to control it.
As soon as Chochuwong is going into her attack, she's virtually every single time playing a winner. It becomes a winning rally.
Server 9-17.
What a shot!
I was just about saying that I think that Malvika was really standing her grounds very well at that rally, and then suddenly out of the blue this shot is coming.
Yeah, but I thought during the rally, I thought she's now living with the pace.
Yes, it's getting a little bit better, and
Yeah.
she's sort of soaking up the pace and pressure quite well.
Yeah. Yeah, she knew immediately that was going to be well wide. No need to change direction. So 2 points away from the opening game. Nice. Yeah, that's well played from Malvika Bansod.
Beautiful spinning net shot there from Chochuwong on the backhand side.
Yeah, and finishes off the rally with a wonderful smash straight down the line. And a lovely way to bring up game point opportunities.
Oh, that's
my
ups.
goodness me.
Look at the smile.
Yeah.
11-20.
Yeah, she made a bit of a hash of that one, didn't she?
Yeah, she did not reverse it enough. Hit it too straight.
But second time of asking. And Pornpawee Chochuwong closes out the opening game against Malvika Bansod of India. 18 minutes for game number one. And that 18 minutes shows that the scoreline perhaps not entirely reflective of game number one.
Number 3, play.
Part 2, 20 seconds. Part 2, 20 seconds.
So Pornpawee Chochuwong going to the good in the women's singles in this Group A tie at the Sudirman Cup.
Level.
Well, I know, Morton, you were talking about the fact that Malvika was not on the pace at the start of the match, but I think I've seen enough so far in the opening game to think that she's got an awful lot of potential. She's got lovely stroke action, as you predicted she probably would.
Yes.
And the way that she has lifted her game in game number 1 to live with the pace towards the end of that opening game shows that if she's exposed to more of this world-class badminton, she will only improve.
I agree, and that's what I alluded to earlier, that India have to make sure that the next generation in the women's singles behind Sindhu and Naval will get exposed enough, because they have a little bit of a tendency to say, oh, we're fine, we have 2 really good women's singles, so we're not having to push the next. But they have a whole host of young players coming up behind those 2, and they need to expose them.
Yeah.
A few years ago, I went to see the nationals in India, and it was a very nice experience. And I saw a girl who's now number 91 on the world ranking, Ashmita Shalida.
Yeah.
And she's also a left-handed player. And she can play with jump smashes and everything. So she's got a lot of potential. I know she's not done well lately in the local circuit and all that, but nevertheless, I really feel that she's got a lot of potential, just like what we see here with Malvika. So they need to get that exposure.
Yeah. And just to emphasise that, Pornpawee Chochuwong reached her first senior international tournament final, which was back in 2013, the Vietnam International Challenger event, when she had only just turned 15 years, 2 months and 9 days. So they're exposing the players in Thailand at an earlier age than perhaps some of the Indian players.
Yeah, but Thailand is, I would say, world famous in badminton for doing that. They are really, really good pushing their juniors.
Yeah.
They are a very, very strong nation when it comes to junior badminton. Not saying they are not in the senior badminton, because they are, of course, but they are really good in the juniors as well.
And in our next match of this particular tie, we will see another one of those juniors exposed at a young age in the men's singles.
Exactly.
Ritisan.
3 times world junior champion already.
Exactly. It's gone long.
As desperately unlucky because I like that shot. So many players tend to go cross-court when they're in that situation, when they go for the lift. But here we saw Chochuwong go down the line with a beautiful reverse, and it would have been a winner, straight winner, had it not gone long on that back line. It was a good shot, good choice of shot.
Oh, that's a beauty. Finds the line. I'm so happy to hear you say things like that, Morten, because I know in your coaching role, you don't focus so much on the results, you focus on the process.
And the potential.
And the thought process as well. So if somebody is trying to play the right shot with a nice technique, you're happy with that. You said it was a lovely shot, even though it was a mistake.
Yes, but I really do, because to be able to really break into, let's say, top 10, top 5, top 3 and so on, if you can't play shots like that, and if you're not experienced and dare to play them, then you can't get into that high rankings. So you've got to play, even though you're feeling uncomfortable sometimes.
And if coaches focused on that more, rather than whether the player is winning the point and therefore winning the game and therefore winning the match, if you start at the young age with, and both these players are youngsters, 20 and 23, they should be trying to find out what is possible with a racket and a shuttle, as playing shots with disguise and so on. It's delightful to see.
Yes, it is, and it's important.
Yeah.
And it's a wonderful start from Malvika in this second game.
Has been badly deflected by netboard, that attempted lift from Malvika Bansod. And that was unfortunate because that just set the shuttle up nicely.
Yeah, but it's all set up by a beautiful spinning shot from Chochuwong.
Yeah. I think I noticed that particularly at the All England, how her net play was superb.
Yes, and she's playing a lot of her shot with a little bit of a loop. But if the opponent is not getting it on top of the tape, but it drops below the tape, then we see what happened here from Malvika. When she's got to lift it, she can't get it away from the net, and it's deflected and it's too short. It's forcing a lot of mistakes.
Yeah.
7-5.
So even though it's probably not the fastest of the spinning net shots of the net, it's very, very tight when it's dropping below the tape.
Yeah, I'm getting more and more convinced about that drift, Morten, because Pornpawee gave that quite a swipe.
Yes, she did. And still it didn't reach the first line.
No, the double service line.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. Really well played from Malvika. She's okay, she's okay. She's okay.
Well, that looked nasty to me, but you're right, she seems to be okay. Thank goodness.
She's strong, you can see. She's been doing a lot of training. She's got strong legs. And she can hold it like that. Look at that, she's able to still hold it.
Yeah. Well, that could have been nasty. Oh. So 4 straight points for Chochuwong. Yeah, there's the spinning net shot again, forcing the error.
Yeah, once again, Malvika have to play with a little bit more variety. We've seen that block shot cross court so many times already now. So if she's not playing towards the back of the court, that one is coming, which means now we see Chochuwong getting very high at the net on the spinning backhand shot. So she's got to play some straight block shots as well to play some variation into her game. Now that's a beauty.
Yeah.
Absolute beauty.
So we're on a run of 6 straight points from 5-all in the second game to 11-5 for Pornpawee Chochuwong. Big game interval. As we look at that rally that took us to the big game interval once again.
And here it comes, trying to have a look at that perfect execution.
Yeah. It's delightful technique. So game and 11-5 the advantage for Pornpawee Chochuwong.
Court 2, 20 seconds. Court 2, 20 seconds.
Agustí Santoso, the coach for the Indian team.
11-5. Lady.
Oh, nice backhand.
Yeah. Saved it nicely so far, the pressure's on. Getting out of trouble with beautiful technique at the nets.
That's a good rally. Oh, that's a pity. She'd forced the short lift, had Malvika had the opportunity to play the winner and played it wide. 7 straight points to this lady, Chochuwong.
7-1.
Oy, 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 oy. That's bad luck. Nicely disguised that shot. Once again, I think it was a perfect shot despite it was a mistake.
Yeah.
I think that was good. That's long, yeah. But a little bit of advice to Malvika now, you have to help me a little bit here on my English. I really feel that her attack is the weakest point, the smash is the weakest point. She's not scoring a lot when she's having the opportunity. And to me, it's because she's not using the rotation of her upper body enough. It's too much arm and not enough full body smash, if you could say that.
Yes, so the rotation of the torso,
yes,
turning the shoulders and
yeah,
together with the arm moving,
exactly,
and the pronation of the forearm through the smash, all those rotational movements have to come together
Yes.
to really make the power smash.
And she's playing a little bit too much with arm only and not enough rotational skills, if you
Yeah.
can say that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, good point. I'm going to look at that now.
Server 14-8.
Well, she says that Lin Dan is her sporting idol and not a bad player to try and follow in the footsteps of.
Just do like him. Yeah.
Oh, too loose. Yeah.
15-8.
Oh, yes. Lovely play.
Relentless attack.
Yeah.
16-8.
I think in general terms, Morton, Malvika is too reactive. And maybe it's just because she's not used to playing this pace of match. But she's reacting well to what Chochuwong is doing, but I'd love to see her take more initiative.
I think that will come. I think she is a little bit overwhelmed by pace and pressure and so on.
Yeah.
But I totally agree with you that she's responding really well. You can see she's already put her level up in terms
Absolutely.
of that, just in this match, and we're talking about 25 minutes or so.
Yeah.
So I think she's done well on that.
Oh.
Oh no.
Well, don't adjust your television sets. There's a problem in the arena.
Yes.
All lights have gone out. All three courts, as you can see, and it's just the stadium special lights for television, because you can see that there's other lights on. The cafeteria lights are still on. Well, that's a huge pity. Something's blown a fuse somewhere.
Pulled the plug by mistake. Chevy Chase somewhere.
Well, Morton, it does give us a chance to talk a little bit more about the Sudirman Cup and the fact that only 3 nations have ever won the title. Of course, China, the defending champions, have won 11 titles, and they've been in the final of the last 13 Sudirman Cups.
Unbelievable.
It's absolutely unbelievable. But Indonesia have picked what I think is a very experienced team. They won the first ever Sudirman Cup, which is very fitting because Dick Sudirman was the president of the Indonesian Badminton Federation, PBSI as it was called, and he donated the cup and suggested the competition, and it's a wonderful legacy for him. But they've actually been in 7 finals as well. Plus, of course, we've got Korea. Now, Korea is an interesting one to me because 4 times they've won the title, 8 times they've been in the final, but they're not seeded in the top 4 here in Vantaa.
No.
Because the number 4 seeds are Chinese Taipei. And yet, if you said to me, Morton, who are the 4 teams that you would pick as the strongest? I personally would actually probably pick Korea above Chinese Taipei, and that leads me on to the fact that Chinese Taipei do not have their Olympic gold medalist, the men's doubles pair here, and they do not have the world number 1, Tai Su Ying, in the women's singles. So of course, the seedings have to be done, and they are done by the top player or pair in each of the 5 disciplines, those world rankings added together, to try and establish the ranking of the teams. But then it does raise the question, if teams don't bring their top players, like India, haven't got PV Sindhu or Saina Nehwal, should the seedings actually be done only on the players that have been nominated for the tournament?
It's a very good question. In my personal opinion, and it's purely personal, I think it should be done according to the players here, and not done according to who is not here. They might have a team, they have a potential team, but they're not fielding that team, and I think there should be the seedings should be done based on who is actually here.
Yeah.
I think my personal.
I think I tend to agree, but I can understand that the BWF, the sheer logistics of it, that you've got to do draws in advance, and sometimes players get injured, or of course, in the case of Ratchanok with a family bereavement, so can't make it. It's very complicated, but I think that is something perhaps that maybe the BWF will look at in future. But of course, there's 2 teams here that have contested a final of the Sudirman Cup and never won it, and those 2 teams are?
I would like to say Denmark.
Denmark, you're right. Twice been in the final.
Yeah.
And the beaten finalists from 2 years ago.
Oh, Japan, yes.
And Japan, yes.
Yes, of course.
Yes, so Denmark reached the final in 1999, lost to China, 3-1 in the final, and then they were beaten in the final in Qingdao in 2011, lost 3-love to China in the final. Now, we're not actually going to get going yet because I don't think the television lights are on, and the lights that we have got on will be right in the vision of the players when they look up towards a high serve or something. So the lights are beginning to come on. So here's my quiz question for you for the day, before the lights are on. Only one team has won the Sudirman Cup, having been down 2-love in the final. And that team was?
Korea.
No. Korea have 3 times come from 1-2 down.
Because when they won in 17, I think it was.
On the Gold Coast?
Yes, that was a fantastic match.
It was, but they were 1-2 down.
Okay.
Here we go. We're going to get back going again. I'm not sure the lights are... I better give you the answer to that question before we get going again. And it was Indonesia who were love 2 down in the final when they won in Jakarta, the first ever Sudirman Cup.
Okay. This is the right lights. It's because they've switched off the stadium lights and now only having the TV lights on.
They don't seem quite as bright as they were previously, though. But you may be right, Morton, that it's purely that. Let's see if we can hear what the umpire is saying.
Is it okay, right? So I will continue. No calling late, okay?
Well, he's saying it's okay and they should continue. They have continued on the other courts, I can let you know.
Yeah, on one of the courts there was a match point. It was 20 match point 18 when the light went.
Oh my goodness. Well, it was a jolly good rally after the break. That's super.
She's done it again and again and again. That cross-court smash to the backhand side of Malvika is working out really well.
Oh, first service error of the match. Oh dear, I think she changed her mind there. That barely reached the net.
She had many options, and sometimes that what happens. Can't make up your mind. Chochuwong really have to play with a little bit of patience now. I think she wants to finish it a little bit too quick.
Oh, good defence.
Please welcome the technical officers for court 1.
Oh, that's a beauty. What a shot.
18-11.
Oh, that's perfection, isn't it? Got the net cord as well. Oh, that's a pity. I have to say, I'm getting more and more impressed with the potential of Malvika Bansod.
Yeah, she's got very fast legs. She's very quick out of her corners, I think.
Yeah.
And that's helping her course a lot.
Chochuwong, 2 points away from levelling this Group A tie at 1 match apiece.
We apologize for the inconvenience we had with the match, but I have been assured it's not the TotalEnergies mistake.
Taking it early.
Yeah.
A tight spinning neck shot once again doing the damage. And a nice wave for Chochuwong to bring up match point opportunities. 8 of them, to be precise. Oh, what a neck shot.
But I must say that Malvika is really using the net a lot more than what she did in the opening game.
Yeah.
It's maybe it's growing confidence as well.
It's a good rally, isn't it?
It is.
Oh, yes.
Really turning her opponent well at the net here. Bansod, really well played. Look at this. Here, she is turning her opponent, that's well played.
The umpire is Jonas from Latvia. The service judge is Malvika from Norway.
So one match point has come and gone.
Late.
Wow. Second match point well saved by Malvika. Flick serve. Oh, it's that shot again. It was a good shot, isn't it? Yeah. Third time of asking. And Pornpawee Chochuwong claims the victory against Malvika Bansod. Two straight games, 21-11, 21-14 in a match lasting 50 minutes, of which there was probably 5 minutes of darkness.
Of complete darkness.
But this is the final rally and the moment of victory. You can see from where she played that final attacking shot that the lift was nowhere near deep enough from Bansod. But confirmation that Pornpawee Chochuwong has levelled the tie by winning the women's singles 21-11, 21-14.
That's won by Chinese 5 games, 21-1, 21-3.